weekend, right?
I think so, yeah.
So what did y'all think of this episode?
Which one? Of Penguin? Or
No,
from?
the joint we just watched. Dune.
Oh,
Wait a minute. Marvel takes the same road as DC took and capitalizes off a actor's popularity versus what it is. And I feel like they could very well because Penguin is such a big thing. Victor's character, he's now he's here.
Yeah.
And he's open to it, and he's already worked with them. So it's there's a relationship there. So as much as I know there are going to be people that have their holdups and have their qualms about it because he's not Puerto Rican and because he's not Afro Latina. As far as I know, I mean, I think he's just.
I consider him Afro Latino. I do.
He's Afro Latino.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I just think it's a complexion. I think it's a complexion ordeal.
Yeah.
Well, that's the easy fix, right? Because if he is Afro Latina, like how we get dark in the sun, so like at the end of the day, like it's just a matter of him going and tanning on the beach for. Yeah, just go tan for a couple of, go spend a couple of weeks and what I mean, and go. And I'm serious, like Republic. Yeah, like you'll come back at least 2 or 3 shades darker. But I think the real thing that is really going to happen, and I know it's going to upset a lot of people, is Marvel could very well capitalize off this man's success, and just go ahead and for that reason put him in the role. Now, with that being said, I feel the same way I feel about the Aaron Pierre thing. I think Aaron Pierre is going to do such a great job that in the initial qualms about him being Jon Stewart are going to be calmed after the people see him in the performance. So once they see him perform as Jon Stewart, they're going to be like, "Oh, he's really good. He's really good." And then it kind of calms those talks to a degree. You're still gonna have your avid fans that are like, I hate that he's not, like he's not the complexion of Jon Stewart. There's still gonna be those people. But
I think those will be the minority, though. If I'm honest, I think those will be
exactly. And I agree with you 100%. I think that those people that we're talking about are not going to be satisfied. Period. They're just those type of people. Like if you get somebody, then it's going to be another issue. There's like. Those are just people that want to be problematic when it comes to these type of things. Like not just getting the best individual for the role. They're more concerned about fitting a dynamic. You know what I'm saying? And like I'm more of I want the best person who's going to do the character justice. Like if he happens to be Puerto Rican and black, that would be awesome. But if he can't be, or if he isn't, I'm not gonna die on a hill on that. Like, I can't believe they should have. No, I'm not gonna do that.
I think it's easy for us though as Americans, you know what I'm saying, to say that because we're like, big deal. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If a dude's playing a dude from LA, but he's really from Jersey, it's not gonna mess with us. I'm sure that there weren't so many people ready to flip over cars during Hustle and Flow when they learned that Terrence Howard isn't actually from Memphis. You know what I'm saying?
It's not just described Ice-T. Ice-T plays the dude from LA.
From LA, it's a New York cop, right? It's freaking So, for us, it's easy. But if I'm a Jamaican and you put like somebody from Trinidad in my role when there's plenty of Jamaicans that could play it, I might feel some sort of way. So I don't want to discount or discredit the folks who have their feelings for the nationality accuracy. I get it, especially as we've seen many on a tirade over this type of shit. Like he gets really fired up over America Chavez. Like he lost his shit. Like he blew a cap.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to, like I said, discredit it or minimize it. However, one thing that you and I believe we have is a level of practicality that kind of includes some of the circumstances and the context around making this decision. And we know that, yes, we can wait forever to get the perfect person who's actually a New Yorican, who actually has an afro and is dark skin and is also can speak Spanish, because but we also know that the clock is ticking. You know what I'm saying? And they just announced Spider-Man 4. And that means that by the end of Spider-Man 4, my assumption is we will have been introduced to a live-action Miles Morales. The Spider-Man 4 will more than likely be around or following the final installation of Into the Spider-Verse. Of the Spider-Verse, which I think there was Enter the Spider, then it's Across the Spider-Verse, then is what's the last one? I forgot the last installment. Nolly, you probably know. I think it's Beyond the Spider-Verse. Beyond the Spider-Verse. So I think that the clock is ticking. I don't think that Renzi is our guy. I do see why you are sold on him. Even looking at this picture right here, his complexion's a little darker. You know what I'm saying? Not exactly the dark, maybe some white one, but I do see what you mean. Like if a dude just kind of sits still for a little while, you know what I'm saying, and just lays out or just doesn't stay in an area where it's hella cloudy or really overcast all the time, then you'll probably find him with a darker complexion. I mean, it's being real. I mean, the question is that valid? Some people may argue over whether or not that's bronzing or doing so. I mean, I know bronzing is a different thing, but I don't know, man. I could see him if they had casted him like he said, like a little while ago. I do believe that this is a franchise that they want to build, and I think that after his first movie, he ages out. So I don't think he's the guy, not for any reason other than age. Complexion, some will debate, but for me, I think the age factor is going to outweigh all that other stuff. Now, you do what you will. Oh no, hold on one second, y'all. Let me get this call. Give me just a second. I'll be right back. Thank you. All right, I have to go pick up the groceries that just got delivered to the front. So I'll be right back. Meantime,
so what are we doing?
Here is your.
We watching something, aren't we?
I got it up right here.
Yeah, you want to watch Dune? Let's do it. Dune is dense.
Okay.
Dense, meaning like
bad.
Like, do y'all remember? Y'all saw the movies, right? Both of them.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep. All right, so y'all remember the family lines and all that stuff.
The Harkonnens, the
do we need to do a refresher? Let's do a refresher. Go ahead. Now you sure? Okay.
I don't think so, but it's just good to know the families because it's a prequel.
Harkonnens,
the Harkonnen. Yeah, honestly, that's all I remember. It was pretty. All I know is at the end of it, old boy had killed the other Timothy Chalamet had killed the dude that was hunting them, and the fat man that floats, he died too easy.
That's Harkonnen. That was a Harkonnen.
Yeah,
and then
did he
House Atreides?
Did he die though?
Mm-hmm.
He did die, right? Yeah. So,
but this is all a prequel. This is like thousands of years before Paul. Thousands of years before Paul. But you'll see a lot of family names that are familiar. This is like House of the Dragon, the Game of Thrones. It's like you're not going to see Khaleesi.
Nah, you may see her great aunt or some shit. Yeah,
exactly.
So this is and let me make sure the stuff that the witches, because what are they? They're the sister. They're called the sisters.
The sisterhood or some shit.
The sisterhood. And the thing that they do is called the Weirden Way. That's what it's called, right? The Weirden Way.
With the voice.
With the voice.
Yeah, it's called like the Weirden Way or something like that, I think.
Yeah, they gotta be. You gotta be like a level 3 witch to be able to do that shit. Like some of these people are still level 1,
and
like,
it's only supposed to be women, and only women are supposed to be able to do this.
Only women,
which is why Paul was so special, because no men were able to do that. Were able to use the voice, and he used it and amplified it in a way that had never been seen before. So they like, the whole story is so much, it pulls from Christianity and him being the savior and the
Messiah.
The Messiah, and the one that has been spoken of for years in the prophecy. He's been prophesied, But
the way that they do it is dope though, because he literally is like, they're giving us the him perspective, right? So he really doesn't feel like the Messiah because we're getting it from his perspective, but everything he does makes him the Messiah. So it's I love that shit. Like, he can't not be the Messiah. It reminds me of Neo, right? Like, and a couple other instances where, like, a motherfucker was just like constantly doing everything they could to not be the guy, but they end up being the guy. Hold on, let me see.
And that's exactly, I was about to say that, like, to go a step further. It was more against, he was from the 2 movies that I saw of the new Dune, it was more of him going against the idea that I'm the Messiah. Like, his mom the whole time is like, you're the Messiah, you're the chosen one. He's like, nah, I don't want to be that guy. Like, that's not me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He could also see the future, which is a power none of them had.
Yes.
And every time he saw the future, he was like, he ain't like what he saw about himself.
Can I ask y'all? I watched Dune as a child, right? But if I'm being completely honest, I didn't understand it. All I knew was that the fat man could fly, and that there was big worms in the sand. And I thought that was really interesting. I don't remember much of anything else. The dudes scared me. The dogs scared. Oh, it wasn't dogs. That was a Willow. The big sandworms was the most interesting thing, and the fact that people could fly and it was futuristic. But I had zero idea about the storyline and the plot line. Did y'all know what was happening when you saw? If you saw the originals, did y'all see the originals?
I didn't see the originals.
Understand it?
I did. I saw the original. Yeah.
So did you get it when you was watching it, or did you get it?
You talking about the 80s one or whatever?
Yeah.
The first one. Yeah, with what's the dude's
David
name?
Bowie or some shit.
Well, no, I don't think David Bowie was in it. That was something else. That was I think that was the Wicked, right? Was that there was an older version of
David Bowie
and the puppets? He was in the puppets.
So no, this was the old one was directed by someone named David Lynch. My bad. And it had Patrick Stewart was in it, the dude from Star Trek. Sting was in it.
Sting. Patrick Stewart was not David Bowie.
Yeah.
But the main character was a dude that was just in the show that Fallout. The dad from Fallout.
Was that
the one who?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, the dad from Fallout. Let me grab these groceries real quick.
Yeah.
All right. Oh shit, my food is gonna be here in 20 minutes. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, sure. This is definitely dinner time for everybody. I know that much.
Yeah. I'm sitting here. I'm working. Well, I'm gonna take a break. I've been working my ass off nonstop.
Yeah. It shows, bro. It shows. I see you. Your numbers are going up on YouTube. Your content, everything is looking great.
Thank you. I'm trying to push it. I finally got monetized over the weekend.
I was in the stream.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, I was in the stream when you.
My fault. I didn't see you.
No, because I was listening, so I wasn't like talking in the stream, so I wasn't. Because I was around doing shit around the house, but I had it on playing, so I was listening to what y'all was talking about. And yeah, I remember you saying in the stream that you were about to get monetized. I guess we're waiting for like another day or two.
Yeah, I got It was like Sunday night at midnight. I'm at the fucking computer, like hit this fucking button, do it now. Mm-hmm. And then I'm sitting here arguing. I'm immediately went to the to YouTube support, and I was like, "How long is this gonna take?" They was like, "Up to a month." I was like, "Get the fuck out of here! Hit the speed up button."
Like, well, how did you lose somebody?
Resharing content.
Your own content?
So either that or I didn't remix somebody else's content well enough. So I was you can remix content, but you got to significantly alter it. So they didn't tell me specifically which of my videos did it. I think it's from using my own videos and putting them up on TikTok and shit. But but somebody told me that it could also be because I didn't alter my video enough. And that made more sense.
Video?
Yeah, they like they don't want you really to like put your content, say, on Facebook and then bring it over to YouTube. Right? That they don't really want that unless you make changes to it.
That's weird. That's all I did. I wish I had known that.
So you can do it. You just gotta change it enough, right? Like one thing I was doing was like when I was putting stuff on TikTok, you know how they put the TikTok watermark on it?
Yes, I hate that.
Don't upload that shit to YouTube.
No, or any platform other than TikTok.
Yeah.
Right. There we go.
So I'm gonna work on this thumbnail while we doing this. Oh, I didn't write. This is the wrong episode number. This is episode 9. I'm working on my episode 9 for From.
Oh, there's episode 9.
Yeah,
yo, Ty, did you see Penguin?
Thank God.
No, the Penguin next Penguin episode is this week.
That was it. The finale. If it ended. Finale.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I didn't see it. No, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the finale yet.
Well, nigga. That's just flame, nigga.
I mean, I'm not surprised. I've done nothing about it surprising. I mean, the entire show was phenomenal from start to finish. So
that shit is but that shit.
Not in hurry.
That shit is whoa. That shit got me like whoa. Oh, that's what they doing. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Nah, last night I was watching Demon Slayer. I was watching Demon Slayer before I went to bed last night.
Oh, word. Okay. Yeah, I think this season is hella filler, but wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I've fallen asleep on episodes of Demon Slayer. Like every episode, I've fallen asleep. I had to replay it.
But Demon Slayer though, like it's not gonna put out the whole 130 episodes. It gives like 10, 20 episodes at a time. But some of those 10, 20 episodes, and I think in this instance, I think it's just 8. It's just all training. You know what I'm saying? But you know that the next time they come back, it's gonna be all fighting. Like the last season was all fighting.
All fighting. Like which made it so fire. Which made it so fucking fire. This shit was so fire.
The very beginning to the very end was fight, kill, all the way through. So they gotta have a calm down season. And Inosuke wasn't in last season like that either. So I'm glad we're getting more Inosuke in this season. All right.
Hey, yo, who's your favorite character on there right now?
Inosuke is my favorite, bro.
Yo, my favorite character is and I can't even think of his name right now, but the dude who falls asleep and then his thing takes over and he's like the nigga's like badass, it becomes badass. Like nigga be like, and then the nigga will wake up and whoop ass and then go back to
everybody
sleep.
up. With the orange hair.
Yeah, he's like, what happened? Like, nigga, what the fuck you mean just happened? Then you killed everybody.
It's worse than that. Like, he's a complete pussy before he falls asleep. Like,
falls asleep, nigga turns into.
This nigga falls asleep. This nigga, ooh.
Nigga, breathing technique of level 4.
Yeah. You can say full concentration. Fire breathing. Fire breathing level 3. Some shit. Fire breathing first form.
Yeah. That should
My
be
bad. All right.
fire.
Yeah. Fire breathing first form. Ninja / demon snake. And do some shit. They be like, what the fuck? Oh shit. All right. My bad.
Yeah.
What holds more truth? History or prophecy? When humans rose up against the thinking machines that had enslaved them, history says it was an Atreides who led them to victory. While my great-grandfather deserted the fight. When war ended and all thinking machine technology was banned, history branded my family as cowards, and so we were banished to a desolate world. Others who shared my blood were resigned to living in shame. But the history the Atreides wrote was spun out of lies.
Hey, it's laggy on my end. I don't know what's going on. If it's the same for anybody else.
Yeah, it's laggy for me too.
Okay. This might not.
Vince, you got to close some tabs.
I
you
don't
probably
know
should. Anthony, if you have a better, because this happens a lot with Vince's connections.
All right, let me do it.
Yeah. Just do it from yours.
All right, and I got it local. I won't play it from
okay.
Google.
Well, I got a better little light. There's a little light. Oh, low light's not so bad. Where's everybody?
All right, yeah, let me play this one. Do it from this tab so you get the sound. Share. All right. Let me see if this is better.
Yep.
You use a private chat.
All right.
What holds more truth? History or prophecy? When humans rose up against the thinking machines that had enslaved them, history says it was an Atreides who led them to victory.
Why are we recording?
My grandfather deserted.
Oh, basically saying that they will not move forward with having they want to stop doing the thing where they conceive inside internally within their own people. And
no,
she's putting her foot down.
They're saying that the leader, right, the black lady, what she was doing was she had a whole genetic library, and what she's trying to do is, because there's so many leaders all across the galaxy, she's trying to breed leaders that they think will be
right. Okay.
So they're not breeding within themselves. They're just trying to do like matchmaking with people based off of their genetic makeup. So like the Atreides, they might match with the Harkonnens, and then they remember every one of these sisters are an advisor to a ruler as well. Like each one has like a pet, like that's always an advisor in their shoulder. So they want to make sure that and then what one of them is saying is like, yo, we shouldn't be doing this. We're literally controlling the universe on the low. And she's trying to stop them from doing it. And the one who just used the voice on her was like, no, we just promised this lady on the deathbed we was going to keep this, we was going to run it back.
But that's what I'm saying. Like so they're not internally breeding, but it's a form of genetic manipulation by it's a low-key Hitler-esque. I mean, taking from your favorite genetic characteristics and then breeding them to keep them all a certain way. In this particular instance, it's for better soldiers or more intellectual people or whatever. But
just people that they can control. Just people that they can control because they influence from the shadows. I'm trying to think if I could think of like a good example. Like they're not outright ruling. Think of it like Game of Thrones. You remember Game of Thrones when the Lannister, the father Lannister would be the advisor to the king. He would be the hand to the king, but he would never sit on the throne. He would advise what the king should do. Or even when Joffrey was on the throne, he would just be like, go to your room and rule in his place.
Yeah.
So that's what they're doing. They have kings everywhere. And they're advising them from and ruling from the shadows.
Okay. All right. So this house is where his mom comes from. Where
she's from the sisterhood. And I believe in the second movie they revealed that she's a Harkonnen.
Right. Yeah. And so he's half both. Like that's his whole thing. Like he's the messianic, combination,
he's
half
part Harkonnen, he's part Atreides, and his mom taught him how to use the voice. So he's got three things in him that makes him really unique.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to get that. So now the beef that they having is whether or not to continue with this method of genetic manipulation, so to speak, or maybe even natural non-natural selection, but preferential selection, and not to do it. And the white girl is against it, and the black girl is for it. She's trying to.
No, the black girl is for it. It's the opposite. The black girl, the black girl is against it. The white girl is for it. So the black girl was the granddaughter of the mother that just died. And she was like, yo, on my deathbed, you're going to keep manipulating the galaxy. And she told her grandmother, yeah, we'll do it. But her grandmother realized her granddaughter wasn't really vibing with it. So she called her favorite pupil, which was the white girl. And I think her name is Valia. And she was like, yo, call Valia to my deathbed. Like, yo, you the one who's got to lead. Don't let my granddaughter run stuff. You got to lead because I know you're going to continue things going.
Oh, this is very Game of Thrones. This is literally what Viserys did with Rhaenyra.
Yes.
He pulled her aside, was like, yo, it's all you. You know what I'm saying? But let everybody speculate whether or not it was going to be one of his sons.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay. Yo. So they were going for it directly. Okay. All right. My bad, y'all. Thanks. We'll go ahead and put it back on up.
All right.
A lot of they're pulling whoever the directors are and the writers are from this. They're pulling from so many elements from other properties. Like I see Star Wars. I see Foundation. I see not House of the Dragon, but Game of Thrones. I see like there's so many elements that are compacted in this one thing. And oh boy, the dude that just made up Lil Man Burn, like he literally plays this part. Like this is him. Like now, like when it comes to these type of roles, this is what he does. Like this is he did the same. If you remember correctly, he did the same thing in Raised with Wolves. It was the same. It was almost the same exact. I can't hear you, Vince. Can't hear you.
As soon as I seen old boy, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It's Ragnar.
Yeah.
It's old boy raised by wolves. It's about to be some shit. He always in some shit. I was ready. I knew it was gonna be good when I seen that nigga pull up. I ain't gonna lie. So
I'm like, this is good. This is really good for a first episode. Like I'm hooked. I want to know everything. Like tell me everything. Like you know what I'm saying? Like this nigga was in the like the king is over here watching the joint, like, and the nigga the sandworm, like come on now, the sandworm pulled up. This nigga's like this, and then all of a sudden the sandworm collides with the ground. There's sand everywhere, and then he pulls up to the king like.
So the question is, did he control the sandworm, or was he watching?
He died.
What do you mean he died?
He said he was the dude Ragnar. He literally said, I you know what I prayed for in that moment? Like he's saying, you know what I prayed for? And then he said he was reborn. This nigga was like, the nigga said, I dug myself out of the sand.
Okay, wait. So the dude, so the guy that was in the sand that old boy was watching.
That was Ragnar.
That was Ragnar.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, and he was watching like an instant replay type thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, and he was saying he prayed himself out of it. What?
He basically said that he should have been dead. Is in essence, I should have been dead. And I prayed. What did he say he prayed for? What was it he said he prayed for?
I don't know. I thought he was talking about how he just prayed for release or something like that. But then he just ended up climbing out of the sand, saw the sandworm, and I don't know. Then he came back with superpowers.
Yeah. And superpowers. Yeah, I mean, apparently this nigga could make you burn from this nigga, like, I don't know how far old girl was, but she was far enough to where they had to take a spaceship to another fucking place to get there. And he still burnt her ass from
I don't know if I'm not really attributing that to him having superpowers just yet. I'm more considering that some sort of poison. Like the little dude had that. Remember, he had the little toy, right?
Mm-hmm.
He had the toy.
The thinking
and
machine.
remember who stopped the toy? It was Ragnar. Yeah. And Ragnar gave it back to little dude, and nobody else had it but little dude. Yeah. I suspect he probably put something on the little stuff and let him burn it up. Girl.
Nah, because he never came in contact with old girl. So how is it that she because he never touched her, he never came in contact with her, physical contact with her, and yet she burned the same way that the little boy burned at the same time that the little boy burned. So that kind of kills your whole theory that it was just the toy.
Well, no, then it would take out the possibility. It would add to the possibilities, the potential for there to be more than one assailant in this instance. I don't think that is necessarily just this dude. There's multiple, people that could be involved with whatever this plight is that he has. So, and let's keep in mind, I think that this dude may have some ties to what we saw in the Dune movies as the really religious sector that I think was on the south of the sand folks. I forget their names. So I don't know if this is a lone wolf.
The Fremen were the ones who took in Paul and his mother when after the Harkonnens came and took over the castle late at night, and they had to run into the desert. The Fremen people are the ones that ride the sandworms. That's the Fremen.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, but they're like,
they don't have
some of them are hella religious.
But
I literally do not see this as a superpower element. Like I'm very skeptical of the notion that this is superpower.
And rose again.
That yes.
Well, it's kind of, it's almost, I think the part that you're not really delving into, Vince, is the fact that in order for them to use these powers the weirding way and all of that, there has to be some essence of supernatural ability, like this, like whether it be whatever it is, we don't know yet, but these witches, for them to be called witches, do in some way specialize in some type of craft. I don't know if it's witchcraft, I don't know what it is, but they specialize in something. So to dismiss the idea that there could be someone who also possesses powers, when you see that we're in a verse of where they're using powers in essence, because that's how Valia got her position, right? She she went to old girl said, I'm not gonna give you my support for you to be the next thing, and she used the weirding way to kill old girl, like just through your throat, and you know what I'm saying, and then that shit happened. So to dismiss the idea that there cannot be other powers in the universe outside of what the witches have is kind of I don't know, bro. Like, it's like,
I'm skeptical about it. I just
Jedi and Sith. Like,
the
witches are definitely on some Jedi shit. Like, they even said, like, yo, we take them as children. We don't let you know who your parents are. You're raised in this order. That's on some real parallels to the Jedi shit.
Yeah.
And then this dude is coming up and he's on some like, yo, fuck these witches. I don't like what the hell they doing. I'm going to try to subvert what they doing, and I'm going to burn this little boy. He definitely feels like he's a opposing force that they're going to have to overcome. And it does definitely, to me, feel like superpowers, especially because that one witch got burned in the middle of their COVID, like dead in the heart of where they at. And she wasn't poisoned. Ain't nobody get at her.
That's what I'm saying. I'm glad it wasn't just me, because and look, and also you have to pay attention to body language as well. When the little boy was burning, what did you see old boy do? This. He put his fingers to his head as though he was using his mind to make this young man burn. So that's what it like anytime I've seen this. Matter of fact, I could point you to you ever seen Firestarter? You remember old girl's father when he used to be like this, and then his nose started bleeding because he's making you do what the fuck he wanted you to do? That was a powered individual. That's the same thing.
Efron.
Is that what?
Zac Efron.
Well, no, I'm talking about the original, but yeah, you can go with Zac Efron if you like. That's the newer version, but yeah, I'm talking about the one with little what was the little white girl? Oh my god, I can't think of her name right now, but she's huge. But yeah, I'm talking about the original Firestarter. The little cute little yeah. But anyway, but it doesn't matter. But the point that I'm making is when he put his fingers to his head, it was like he was trying to speed up the process in essence, or use it, like kind of make it happen a little faster or whatever, maybe add some flame or whatever. I don't know. But it was just, for me, the fact that he burnt and old girl burnt at the same time. And you also have to understand that when she went to do that thing with the fingers, she was trying to jump into his mind. But did you not also see that he almost reversed it and jumped into her mind as well, which is why she started seeing shit. Like, yeah, I'm paying attention, like heavy paying attention. She tried to read him like a regular person, and like he basically read like when she was reading him, he read her. So it was like later that night. Remember, she had the dream right after having the thing with him. She had the dream about the girl and her doing this, which caused her to jump into a spaceship, leave in the middle of the night, and go all the way to the thing to tell the sisters what was going on. It all started when he pulled up. when he pulled up, all of that shit started. So, you know, like I think he to me, this is giving me heavy Inquisitor vibes. Like he's gonna no, because think about it. Witchcraft, which like that, like the Inquisition, like not necessarily the Inquisition, because that was different. That was more Christian, but Inquisitor vibes in terms of witchcraft, like there always being a priest that condemned the witches for witchcraft and then taking them to the stake, like Salem. It's giving me Salem vibes. So if you ever saw the movie Salem, you saw that there was a priest who condemned the witches and then made them burn at the stake. This is giving me heavy that, like, he's coming to basically shed light on the witches' witchcraft, and that they basically are using this to control people. And I feel like he's going to be the one that develops like a unit that goes around and things. Based off the previews, that's what I saw anyway. Like I saw him being the guy that comes at them like, we know what you're doing, yo, I'm here to stop it all. And you know, basically them being like, look, you ain't stopping shit. Like, we don't just be over here doing witchery shit, nigga. We be full on hand-to-hand combat training. Like, nah, but like we over here fully training hand-to-hand. That was another thing that I got Star Wars vibes. When they was out there training, that gave me heavy Star Wars vibes too. I was like, oh, the hand-to-hand stuff that, you know, like the Jedi that they teach the younglings. Remember we saw an acolyte when they were training the younglings in the thing. They were doing the same type of shit, like hand to hand. It gave me the same shit, that same vibe, even down to their garbs. Look what they were garbed in. Like, it was like, I was like, this is so whoever's writing this is taking different things from these different properties and adding them all to make their own little thing. And so far, so good. I like it.
Well, let's be clear. If I'm not mistaken, go ahead.
Dune came out first.
I was about to say, Dune actually inspired Star Wars. That's why they use terms like spice. That's why you see the desert a lot, and you see in the very first Star Wars, a lot of it takes place in the desert. Even in Return of the Jedi, a lot of it in the desert. Tatooine is essentially a desert planet, for lack better of the all that, you know what I'm saying? And it's no wonder George Lucas is on record as saying he was a huge fan of Dune. So the question is whether or not the inspiration of the Star Wars movies and the recent projects is also being brought into it. But outside of that, yeah, the Game of Thrones element is there. The foundational element of there is there. But I love the seamless. But I will say it is not a good a world to be a light-skinned black woman, because literally the first 5 minutes we lose all of our mixed sisters or sisters of lower you. My bad, I'm just messing around. But yeah, like that worried me for a little bit. But I see we do still have some chocolate in the mix, so I'm happy about that. But it worried me a little bit when we started dying off real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it was getting real soul food.
It looks like they're going to be focused. They're going to be focused on too. That's another thing I like. It's not just that they're present. They seem to, based on what I heard Mother Superior say, the two favorite women of them are the two black girls. You know what I'm saying? And it seems as though this young lady right here that you have up on the screen is the one that's the non-fuck-wittable. You don't fuck with her. Like, she not only gonna whoop your ass, but she's smart, intelligent, seems to have her stuff shit. Like, when they was talking about they like, it was like, nah, she's clearly coming here because she wants to be like, she knows what the fuck is up. And the Mother Superior thinks that loves her, that's her favorite, as her sister said. That's why she's your favorite. And then she went on to say, well, you know, your favorite is a weakling. She's weak. You know what I'm saying? And come to find out, I think that young lady that she's calling weak is going to probably turn out to be the most powerful empath that they have. Because she's the one, if you notice, when old girl told her little wild story and everything like that, and everybody was looking shocked and shit, old girl looked at her like I know the truth. Like, I know that some of that shit wasn't real, but some of that shit was. And it's just a matter of, she didn't divulge which part of it was true, but there was some truth to it. And so I think that she's going to play an integral role in this storyline going forward, which I'm all here for it.
The teacher in that situation, does she know?
Does she know what?
That she was lying, or she was telling the truth?
I don't think it matters.
Yeah, I'm with Anthony on that. I don't think she was concerning herself with that. The whole point of the whole example was that the girl felt like it was easy to deceive, and so then she gave that whole, you know, that, oh, I killed this guy when I slit his throat and da da da. It was her being not taking shit seriously in that moment and not taking seriously after the moment. So I think ultimately what we're seeing is just the developmental part of it. Like, you know what I'm saying, is like what goes into becoming these witches, what grueling tasks they have to go through, and ultimately what their overall goal is, which is to have a sister on the throne, which obviously we know does happen. Because Paul Atreides' little sister, the one that you saw in Dune, she does become Mother Superior, and she is also of royal blood. Also his mother, also the mother of Paul Atreides, married a king, and also was another witch that they had on the actual throne. So she wasn't just like what they call them truthsayers that just advised the kings and queens. They were actually truthsayers on the throne. So this was something that they were working on 10,000 years, because this was 10,100 and something years before the birth of Paul Atreides. So they've been working this shit in the background for a very, very long time to get to where they are, where we see them in the Dune movies.
But Paul wasn't plan A. Paul was not plan A. Plan A was for that woman in the red dress to marry that little boy, right? And then she was going to take the throne. And they were saying, look, she's going to marry this little boy. Then she's going to dip for 10 years. And she's going to come to the covenant. And she's going to train to be a truthsayer. She's going to train to be with one of these ladies. And then they were going to send her back. And after they indoctrinated her for 10 years, they were going to control her that way. Then they would be able to control the whole lineage of that family. That was the original plan. But when old boy peeped what was going on, and then he decided to set the little boy on fire, and somehow he figured out a way to burn the truthsayer that was working with that king, with Mark Strong's character. He threw all of that stuff out. Now they got to figure out how are they going to recover, because plan A just went out the window. So you know,
what was the lady's role in that?
Which one?
The one who burned at the same time.
What was her role?
She was the advisor to the dude that was the emperor on that planet, the king on that planet. Yeah. So the bald headed dude, Mark Strong's character.
Right?
Yeah, Carmen Falcone.
Yeah,
Falcone. Yeah, Falcon. Well, now, originally it was, the old boy.
I know,
But I actually remember him as I think he played
Sinestro.
Well, Sinestro, but Bullwinkle. If you saw Bullwinkle, he was
Rocky. You went way back.
Rocky and Bullwinkle. But he was in Kingsman too, and
he was in a lot of things,
and a lot of shit. Yeah, he been a lot. But Yeah, I mean, I that my mind immediately goes there real quick. I mean, like when I see Moira from X-Men is one of the main, the one of the main ladies, from the X-Men Last Stand. That's Charles Xavier's girlfriend. He showed up at her deathbed at the end of the end credit scene. I think she was in that for a little bit, and she also, I think, was in something else recently. I can't remember what it is though. And then the one lady. Well, I don't know. Now's not a good time to get me.
Do you guys already have a sense of what's happening or what's gonna happen? So the princess.
I have no idea.
The princess just slept with old boy, right?
Oh wow!
So,
I see it already.
So I believe she's gonna be pregnant by him. And I also have a very strong feeling that the bartender is his girlfriend, or a love interest, or they have something going on, because she was perturbed, clearly, by him going in the back with old girl, and he gave her the look before he went in back with old girl, like, she is the princess. What do you want me to do? Say no? I can't. I can't say no. I gotta. Duty calls. Yes, I am smashing. If you need to know. Yes.
USA.
So, but you also noticed that she was Fremen.
Yep.
How do you know she's Fremen? Because her eyes were blue. So the Fremen, all Fremen people have that blue like thing eye over their eyes.
Well, do they all have it, or don't they get it over?
All Fremen have it. Well, so I don't know if it's after drinking anything. I just know the Fremen people.
No, it's from eating spice.
Eating spice.
They put the spice in their food.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen naturally, right? Like it happens over time, right? Like they're not born with it.
It depends. Like if you're raised on Iraqi and you've been eating it since a baby, you get it pretty quick. But Paul Atreides, like it took him a while. He had to sleep with Zendaya before his eyes turned blue.
Yeah, right. But his sister was born with her eyes blue. But his sister was born with her eyes blue.
That's not what did it. It wasn't the.
Well, I mean,
the nookie wasn't.
It was literally the next scene. It was literally the next. As soon as he did the deed, cut to scene. His eyes are blue.
It's the moisture. It was the moisture. She had the magical moisture. It was the moisture.
The magic blue coach. Yeah, the blue.
Yeah, but her, yes, her. Whoa. I can absolutely see as like she's gonna probably be an integral part because again she's Fremen. So when it comes down to access to the planet, the culture, whatever, she is a point of interest. But I most certainly could see what's going on with her and the guy, and I'm almost positive that she winds up pregnant, and then there's going to be a big thing about, well, how did she get pregnant and the little boy's dead? Like, you know what I'm saying? And they're going to probably be trying to say, I don't know, but I can almost see that happening. Yeah.
But even if I'm being honest, even if the boy was alive, is it even credible? Is he of age to be able to reproduce? Like the dude is so young. By the way, he's given Tyrion until he wasn't.
Well, I was gonna say Joffrey. I was gonna say off the dick. I got Joffrey vibes because when he said, "Oh, we don't have to speak," that's just my dad said that's just a formality. I was like, "Oh, this nigga's a dickhead."
It felt more to me like he was scared of.
Huh?
And then he shoved them grapes in her mouth.
Yeah.
He wouldn't let her do it.
Yeah, it was giving me. I was like, "Oh, this nigga's about to be a dickhead for real." But then I realized he's really, really a kid. He really, really, really is a kid.
And I felt like he was more, ill girls type thing. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know how they get down on that planet. But either way,
But they had already established that. Remember what she said? She was like, for years I'll be able to do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? I was hoping he was 9. Basically, I can do what I want to do, and control him, which I like being in this position that I'm in. So she never intended on fucking that little dude, and you know what I'm saying, and you know, and rightfully so. I mean, he's a child. So
Yeah.
I mean, you know, like, but I think the intention probably was to like let him age. You know what I'm saying, and then when that time comes that he's of age, then we'll go ahead and I'll let him plant the seed, and we'll carry on the name and all of that.
Because they didn't get married yet. That wasn't the wedding.
That
was just like
the introduction. That was the introduction.
That was the engagement party.
Yeah.
So that was the engagement party.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty
All
much.
right.
I was just basically letting everybody else know that this is, you know, this is a thing. Like these are
the girl in the very beginning who killed the black girl, told her to kill herself. Where is she?
That's Nalia. That's Nalia Harkonnen. That's Nalia Harkonnen, and she is she's the what you call it, mother, the mother superior. That's
mother superior.
She became the mother superior.
So we saw her get older.
Girl.
Yeah.
That's why she killed her. That like it.
So that happened. So that was a flashback.
That was a
flashback. That was a flashback. Yeah.
I think like 20 something years passed since then.
30
years.
Yeah,
30 years. And
30
now
years
so then she started ruling with her sister, and that's what those were the two that were arguing about, oh, this one's your favorite, this and that. That was her as she got older. And she was like, oh, you want absolute obedience? She was like, yes, I do. Right? So
yeah. Okay. So the ring that she keeps on her finger, if you notice that ring, is the same box that she picked up off of the floor that old girl dropped. So the whole reason she killed old girl in the first place was because she wanted old girl to second the motion for her to be the mother superior. And old girl was like, I'm not going to support you. I'll refuse to support you. And she was like, all right, cool.
Not just that, but that was the DNA codex, right? Yes. That was the database of all the DNA. And she was like, yo, I'm going to take this and I'm going to destroy this because we're not sitting here going to manipulate the universe no more. That was my grandmother's ways. And, you know, that's why they had that initial beef. That's why she made her, she knew if she doesn't stop her right now, you're going to cause a divide in the sisterhood. You can't be sitting here having an opposing opinion with the granddaughter of the previous mother superior. That's going to be a problem. So she had to take her out right away.
Yeah. So essentially, she told her to kill her granddaughter. Essentially, that's what happened.
Tell her to.
No,
she told her to
essentially. Well, I mean, she said to do what she had to do to wait. She wanted to. Oh no, yeah, she wanted to keep it the way that it was with the genetic bullshit, and old girl was gonna put an end to that. And
she didn't know that.
It was her dying wish. It was her dying wish.
The grandmother didn't know that though. The grandmother didn't know.
But,
she just knew.
Essentially,
yeah.
But I mean, unbeknownst to her or not, my bad. But unbeknownst to her or not, that's essentially what she did. She condemned her to death. You know, because if she hadn't given her that rule, if she hadn't given her that direction, then she wouldn't have felt compelled to do that in the moment, right?
I don't think she knew this girl was going to kill her granddaughter. Like, I don't think she knew that was going to happen. But she knew that her granddaughter wasn't going to follow through with her wishes. That's for sure. And I don't think she what's her name? The Queen Superior. I don't think the new Queen Superior knew either. Like she just knew that there was going to be a difference of opinion, but she didn't know how far it was going to go. Valia.
But ultimately, we're not in disagreement that even though she didn't know, that was the consequential result. So she did put that into motion, unintentionally or not. And to an extent, it wasn't even, it shouldn't have mattered. If it was somebody else other than her granddaughter, it would have been okay. I mean, I think that just presents the dilemma, but ultimately that was the task, and she held it down.
I think it speaks more to who Valia is than the actual order that you're talking about. It speaks more to who Valia is, and I think it's going to continue to rear its ugly face. That Valia has an agenda, period. And her agenda, she is not willing, and that's why it's very important that you remember the things that are being said. Her sister says, "Oh, you just want blind obedience." Yes, because I have a vision, I have an agenda, and I'm going to achieve that no matter what, no matter who it costs me, no matter what opposition. This is the agenda, and this is what I have. And so Valia, if this continues, we'll see that Valia is a very formidable individual, in that she is willing to do anything to make the sisterhood thrive. So that is, I think, with the more and more we watch this show, we're gonna see just how she's not gonna give a fuck. Like, she's not. I think ultimately she's probably gonna kill her sister. If I'm being honest, I can just see it. I can see it because they're on different. Everything is lining up, even down to who their favorites are. One has a favorite of strength. One is a favor of strength and assertiveness. The other is a fan of growth and I guess teaching, if you want to put it that way.
Nurturing.
Nurturing is more nurturing, and I think those things collide. Those things will contradict each other at some point, and they will collide. And I think at that point we'll see a thing where she winds up killing her sister. I almost see it.
Okay, a couple questions, and then we can wrap it up if y'all want. But is there like a freaky, weird undertone of slavery in this? Hear me out. With the slave trade, right? And I know that this is completely incomparable, so don't at me with the whole, there's nothing comparable. I get it. I know there's nothing in history, point blank period, fictitiously or non-fictitiously, that can compare to the horrible plight that our people and our ancestors and even some of our immediate family members have experienced. Having said that, just from a make-believe standpoint, just looking at it from this perspective, their goal ultimately in this time is to expand throughout the galaxy or whatever it is, in their servitude to these people, with hope that one day they will create a savior that will save them from the people for which they serve. Am I missing that? I mean, it's some reverse Hebrew and Pharaoh type shit. Am I missing that, or is there some truth to what I'm saying?
I think it's a power struggle, nonetheless, in regards to who rules. I don't know if it's about saving as much as it is about controlling.
Okay.
Because it looks like it, from everything that I see. Now, I may be wrong, but from everything that I see, this is more about establishing control than it is about saving. Because right now, the sisterhood is not being persecuted. They're not being attacked. If anything, they are an integral part of things running the way that they are. Because if you remember in the very first part, there were requests coming from all of the house families to have a truth sayer in their respective regimes. And she was like, tell the Harkonnens they're not getting one. For the fourth time, tell them no. Tell they can get one. Tell the Karimis they gotta wait. Like, this is like right now, this is not about
but look at the difference in how they live in, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's this is a class warfare type of exploitation, right? I mean, don't they have some sort of discrepancy with the houses that they're serving? I mean, there has to be a reason for them. I mean, other than just a power acquisition, I don't know that I mean, there's no vendetta.
I think it's just blind faith because there's a prophecy that the original Queen Mother had that there is a threat coming in the future and they need to create this Masonic figure that's going to combat it. They do have that blind faith. They just don't know what the threat is. They know there's a threat coming. So Valia is so committed to the faith.
Indoctrinated.
She's indoctrinated that she's just willing to do whatever it takes to make sure this person comes into existence. So we all know that eventually that's going to be Timothy Chalamet's character, Paul. But right now she doesn't know when that's going to happen. But she just knows that she needs to make sure that she does her part to make sure that the Masonic figure is born. So I don't see the slavery.
Well, why does it take so long too? By the way, like why 1,000 years?
I think it would have happened.
10,000. By the way, it's 10,100 and something years.
Why so long to create the Messiah?
I think it would have happened sooner, but they took out that little boy and they took out his truth sayer. Like that was the initial union that they were going to start to use to create the lineage that eventually creates Paul. Right? You're gonna have an Atreides. You were gonna have he was gonna sit on the throne, and they were gonna have the mother become one of them and teach her, the ways of the sisterhood. So that she was already in the process of like creating this figure. What I find interesting is that even after Paul is born, when you look back at Dune 2, they're still doing this same shit. Right? Like they're still doing some stuff where they're trying to genetically make a child. If you remember in Dune 2, one of the sisters slept with the Harkonnen dude, the bald-headed Harkonnen dude. Like they hypnotized him and made him sleep with her. So to me, it's like eventually there's going to be a disconnect between what they're trying to do now and creating the Masonic figure and what they end up doing later in the line because they're trying to make someone else.
And more importantly, Vince, if it's so easy to be God, there wouldn't be a need for God, if that makes sense. So they're trying to ultimately play God. They're trying to put these DNAs together. They're trying to create something that it's in all essence is something that happens naturally and is something that you can't kind of, and trying to manipulate it and trying to recreate it is not something that should take 100 years or should take a couple of weeks.
10,000.
Yeah. Well, think about what I just said. If it was easy to be God, there'd be no need for God, if that makes sense. It'd be no need for me to have a faith in something if I could do it myself. If that the whole idea of God is that God can do things that we as human beings can't fathom. God is able to create life in a way that if you go biblically, he was able to create life from sand, from dirt. So imagine us as human beings trying to create life from dirt. Like that.
That's not what. I mean, help me understand. How did we come about this matrimony? Like how were this man and this
little boy
woman? Yeah.
By the codex. Remember what she said. She checked. She said, I went in the room. She went in some room and came out the room. She said, and she told her sister, I quote, I checked the codex, and this match is a good match. She is the one, and he is the one that we need to carry on and the name of that group was not Atreides or Harkonnen. It was Orimi or something like like it was something else. It was a different name that
the dude
they
she
were
slept
saying.
with was Atreides.
Yeah, he was a Okrini or something. It was something like that, but it wasn't either of the major names that we know that we're dealing with within Dune 1 and Dune 2. the major names in that are House Atreides, House Harkonnen, and then there's one more where, because remember, there's an emperor. There was an emperor in Dune 2 that came to the thing and they killed the emperor. Remember that? And Dune, Dune, you don't remember? There was an actual emperor. They was like, if the emperor finds out about this, oh my gosh, he's gonna. And then the emperor came and they killed the emperor. You don't remember that?
They who?
Paul killed him. Paul killed he enslaved the emperor. So so just to kind of rewind, the reason that these two ended up getting engaged is because that one dude in the all-white suit, he has an army, and his army is the one that's fighting the Fremen on Iraqis and making sure that they can bring home spice to the rest of the world. He wanted to create a union with Emperor Javico, who was Mark Strong or Carmine Falcone, whatever you want to call him. He wanted to create a union with him. He's like, look, I'm not just going to be your army. We're going to create a union by having my son marry your daughter, right? And you're going to give me a wing in the castle or whatever. So that's how that was a result of the sisterhoods that were advising the emperor and advising the dude in white to do. He was like, yo, they were in their ears. But this union was supposed to be the union to create the perfect vessel, or at least start the lineage of creating what would be Paul Atreides. They wanted to get the right mix of DNA with the right people in order to create this perfect hybrid being that is Paul, that can do the voice.
Okay.
Royal lineage of the throne, so he can sit on the throne as a male, and he can take over the galaxy. Now, I forget what the dude's name was.
Which
real
emperor? It's that famous actor. It's like,
oh yes, yeah. He was in wasn't he in Lord of the Rings?
No, he was in Catch Me If You Can. He wasn't in Lord of the Rings.
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to think that guy's name.
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken?
Yes,
Yeah.
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken was in this?
He was in Dune.
No, Dune 2. He was the emperor.
Oh, I remember him. Yeah. Okay. Dune.
I thought they killed him and they didn't kill him in Dune 2.
I think they just
that's when they was like all hell. Because remember they was like, the sister was like, you're like all hell at the end of that Dune 2, after he killed old boy, and they had fought. Then the little sister or the mother, my bad, not the little sister, because I think it was the mother. This little sister wasn't born yet.
Christopher Walken or Josh Brolin?
It was Christopher Walken. Josh Brolin was just a soldier.
Yeah,
Christopher Walken was the emperor. I don't think they killed him. I think she, like the girl, Florence Pugh's character was his daughter, and she was like, "Yo, don't kill my dad. I'm gonna marry you." And I think he let him live, and they were worried about the other houses going to be upset that Paul is taking over, and that's what Dune 3 is going to be about. It's going to be about Paul going to war with all the other houses of the galaxy.
Yeah, because at the end of Dune 2, you're right. Wow. Because remember, everybody kneeled, including the emperor. So everybody kneeled to him at the end of that at the end of that movie. Like they were all kneeling to him. So
yeah,
it's like,
he had killed. But he had killed.
What's killed old boy. Yeah, he had killed.
He was your champion, and he picked the Harkonnen dude, Paul Butler. What's his name? Butler.
I like him.
Austin Butler.
Yeah, Elvis. I
Austin
call him
Butler.
Elvis.
Thank you.
That's
Austin
Elvis.
Butler, yeah. Dude looked like dude that couldn't stop talking like Elvis.
Man, he can't, and he still can't. After doing the movie, every movie he goes into, he still sounds like Elvis. So like,
he still sounds like Elvis.
Oh my God!
Was in something else. He was in something.
He was just in something I just told you about.
Biker Boys, something like that.
Yes, he was in that, which is about
the airplane movie.
Yeah, well, he was in Biker Boys, which is about the Hells Angels, which was a good movie. That was pretty good. And then he was in the Thing of Air. What was it?
Masters of the Air.
Masters of the Air, which was also pretty good. And yes, he sounds like Elvis in that. Yeah, he still can't get it. He can't get out of it. He's like, it's like, man, I just can't let it go.
Thank you very much, Atreides. Thank you very much. Harkonnen.
Call me Harkonnen.
That's right.
That's his thing now. That's his thing. If he stopped doing it, I would be disappointed.
He's learned a lot of fans through that, and so yeah, keep that.
So what do we think? All right, the little black girl. I shouldn't say the little black girl, but all right. I mean, the one who
we don't know, man. It's okay. It's okay. You can do it right now. We don't know their names. Like we started the stuff.
Yeah, the one who you said you was like, oh, she likes her. Like the one who detected that old girl was the weak one or whatever. Like what's what do you think is up with her? What I found her. What do you think is up with her? Like what's her whole thing? You know what I'm saying? Is she seemed to have like a little chip on her shoulder. She got some.
Does she? Where'd you get that from? Where'd you gather that from? That she has a chip on her shoulder.
Well, if she's the only one that can detect whether or not this girl was telling the truth or not, then perhaps she's endured more that allows her to detect more. She also seemed to have the demeanor of somebody who didn't really seem to be as optimistic, enthusiastic about what's going on. There seemed to be, I detected like a different.
Well, they already told you. It's she comes from a different lineage. They said that her lineage, like, so apparently whatever lineage she came from was like known for whatever they're known for, because they established that when in the conversation. They said that she comes from a certain pedigree of, so she doesn't know it though. Remember, in the conversation, they don't know who their parents were. But the Mother Superior and her sister do, because they said she comes from a certain thing. And apparently she's one of, if not the strongest empath that they have. And that's one of the things. That's why I said I think it's gonna come up at some point. She's gonna be an integral character in this storyline, and she's gonna have some like real significance in regards to how she affects the story. So I don't think she has a chip on her shoulder. I don't think that's the case at all. I think she just doesn't realize how powerful she really is yet. And I think once she comes to that conclusion, people better watch out. I think that's what it is. I think that, because I love the misdirection, right? I love the fact that off the top they label her weak. Like, I love that I feel like that's a misdirection. I feel like they want you to believe that she's weak, and then you find out later that this girl is like Yoda. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, for real, like, I'm dead ass, like, because they played old girl,
because that
to be strong and and all of that, and then the other girl to be weak. I just think it's the Umbrella Academy approach, right? With how they had old girl V, who basically was, I think it was V or something like that. Like, she was, they was always, stay in the house, and it turns out the reason they was doing it is because she was too powerful. Like, they was messing with her because, even though she switched and being a boy, whatever. I think and it's also more like the Arya Stark. Like, I feel like Arya was, and remember when Arya was always like the little tomboy, but nobody let her really like experience nothing, and then she had to go out and learn, like, use her anger and learn how to do all this stuff, and then comes back and she becomes the girl has no name. She reinvents herself. And I think this girl is kind of the same thing in regards to that. I think she doesn't realize her potential yet, and I think there's going to come a moment, probably it's going to be the death of Valya's sister, because again, I think Valya's sister loves her and plays like a motherly role for her, and for all we know, she could be her mother. Like, so like there's so many different ways you can go with a storyline like this. So we don't, like, when they start talking about the pedigree and shit, and it's like, you don't know if she's talking about herself. I do know that I watch Body Language, and I know that when she mentioned the girl, like her body language was that of a protector. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm serious. Like when her and when the sister and her were having a conversation, and she was like, "Oh, you just coddle her or whatever." You know what I'm saying? Like, and it felt like she wants to protect this girl, but she also knows just how powerful this girl really is, and doesn't maybe is kind of trying to keep it suppressed. You know what I'm saying? For fear that her sister will control her in a way that she's not really wanting her to be controlled in. You know what I'm saying? Because she already says that about what was that name, Asha. She was like, you didn't even give Asha a chance. Like you just she was like, no, I heard her and then I dismissed her. You know what I'm saying? So her sister's like, no, it's not the point. You know what I mean? Like, but that's what I think the conflict between them is gonna keep going that way. It's gonna keep going that way until Mother Superior has had enough, and then they meet at an impasse where, all right, a decision has to be made, and I'm not. It's either you or the sisterhood, and if it's you or the sisterhood, it's always going to be the sisterhood, even if you're my sister, and that's hood. So
and that's on hood.
So and that's on hood.
What about her? What's up with her?
Oh, she's the one you got to worry about. She's the one that you got to worry about. So not only is the person that we were just talking about, she's ultra powerful. She's going to end up being like the Yoda. This her right here. She's like, if old girl is the Yoda, she's like, I don't want to say she's like the Obi-Wan or maybe the Qui-Gon. She's like, she's not quite up there, but she's like, look, I see what's happening, and I'm going to make a moral decision. Yeah, she's more like the Qui-Gon. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. So okay, so this is in terms of their ability to control people or their powers?
Not just that. It's just also about how obedient they are to the Queen Mother, right? So that's why so there's a couple things, right? Like one, Valia likes that one girl who can lie is arrogant and believes in herself, but she also thinks that because of that arrogance that she exudes strength. And that's what she respects in that one girl who could lie super well. She's like, I like this strength, and I think that she could be a leader. Her sister's more like, I like this other person who's favoring wisdom and is observant. This girl right here, though, she's like, she sees everything, and she's not as easily controlled.
Well, that's the opposite of what they said, though. For her, for the black girl, because remember that is Mother Superior's favorite, is the black girl, is her.
Be quiet, because I heard some stuff. I heard some stuff when I was interviewing, so I'm gonna be quiet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait a minute.
Well, that's different. That's it. I mean, that's different if you already have it
on the red carpet interview.
Yeah.
I you already know red carpet videos.
Yeah, but they drop hints and like Easter eggs in the red carpet interviews already. Like,
well, it's not just that. You got to remember, all of this stuff is based off of books, right? These books are already out there.
Right.
So these stories, like, you can find the answers.
Okay, so I didn't know that. So that is definitely new to me. I did not know. I mean, I knew that the Dune book. I knew Dune book, but I didn't know that they had made more. I didn't read. I wasn't a avid reader of the books or anything like that. But well, there it is. All right. So all right, Anthony. So what is it then? Just tell us. I mean,
we're gonna watch the interview, right? Like, I interviewed her. Okay. So in the interview, I talk about that specifically, that her character and what she does throughout the season. I joke with her a little bit, but I did ask her like a really good question that is pretty it's pretty spoilery. It's pretty spoilery. Not really, but yeah, you kind of know what direction her character is gonna go.
Oh,
she gives me zealot vibes. Like, she's like, I'm faithful to the cause. But I also am wise because I know I pay attention and I read my surroundings well. Like that whole conversation at the table when the prince walked by and everything like that. She was very calm. She had a very like, easy kind of personality. She never like seemed like she was like fluctuating in the way that she was vibing. And then when they said what they said, she just politely corrected them and just went on to doing what she was doing. Like she was like, no, the princess, is going to be her own truth. That's what she's coming here for. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they was like, oh, like they like she already had it. No, she already knew what time it was. And I like her. I like her a lot. So I'm like I hope she really does very well.
Me too, because like one thing I hate about being at the red carpets is that 100% of the time they put me in the Rosa Parks section. I'm way at the end. I'm scrunched together with like 3 other people. Like Variety is way down there in the front where everybody walks in. They talk to them first, and I'm all the way at the end. And she saw me, right? She saw the puppy dog eyes that I had. Her agent was trying to walk her past me, and she was like, no, I'm going to come back to you. And not only did she come back to me, she waited for me to finish another interview to talk to her. No talent ever does that. They never wait. So
pull up Jade.
All the flowers to her. I respect the hell out of her. So I hope she does extremely well.
Yes,
but did she spoil the show in this interview?
No, she didn't spoil. So I asked her a question about something that her character. I was sitting there and I'm like, I think her character, because I already saw it. I'm like, I see something in her character. I'm seeing these vibes. Let me throw this question at her. Let me see if she bites. And she bit. And she just.
But
you choked.
Now you've seen how much?
I only saw the first episode. Just what you guys saw. But I same way y'all saw the way her character was moving and the way we watch a lot of TV. You can kind of predict character arcs and things like that. I was doing the same thing, and I was like, "Yo, I think this is gonna be her. She's giving me these vibes. Let me throw this at her. Let me see how she reacts." She reacted.
All right. Well, let's see what she talk about, man. Let's go ahead and play this video. Let's this interview right quick. This looks like it's gonna be a good one.
My name is Anthony. I'm with the movie blog. Jade, I'm so excited to speak with you. First off, let me just start off the dog. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of your performance. It was just really wonderful to watch. I just wanted to start off with that.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
It just means a lot to just see certain performers on stage just killing it, just really doing a wonderful job. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Thanks.
Sister Theodisia, she brings wisdom. She brings loyalty to the Bene Gesserit. If she could bend just one rule in the sisterhood, what do you think she'd change?
The fit. I think they need new clothes. I think we could like work with that. No disrespect to the costume designer, because actually they're amazing. But like, I think there's something. I think she would definitely be the kind of person who would say like, no uniform is necessary. Like, embrace who you are, show who you are, show your true self. Obviously, that's a lot of sisterhood above all. So.
Your character's role in the sisterhood, it touches on a few things. It touches on faith, it touches on duty, it touches on rebellion. What can you share about her internal conflicts, especially as it relates to the larger schemes of the Bene Gesserit?
There is so much going on for Theo in her mind, in her heart, her soul, and I wish I could go into way more, but like, you're gonna find out stuff about her that's gonna make you understand why she's the way she is. And I feel like we see in the beginning, like the first episode, like she's not really there to make friends. Like she's there to like do the work, come out on top, like be the best that she can be. And there are reasons for that. Like I think the sisterhood for her is a sanctuary. I think Valia was the first person to like really see her. I think she feels seen here. I think she's normally the kind of person that really feels other, that really feels like the odd one out. And the sisterhood has given her a place where she feels like she can fit in and she can excel. However, she's got she's got other stuff going on that bubbles to the surface.
I love it. And this is my last question. Theodisia, she also has this intense dedication to the sisterhood. Do you think she has any regrets about the path she chose, or is she all in on the mission?
I think this is so good. I feel like I'd love she isn't the kind of person to hold regrets. Like, I feel like she's the kind of person that every situation makes her stronger, and she learns from it like really intensely, really quickly. I think she's really super smart, and I think she does appear or does have a kind of intense honor and respect for the sisterhood. She does, but also I think she's very good at reading a room and knowing what to say in the right time, in the right space, in order to get to where she needs to be.
Thank you so very much. I'm so excited for fans to see this. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye.
Cheers.
Yo.
Hey, I'm crushing, man. I'm crushing on her, yo. I'm crushing on her, bro. Like, I was just sitting there listening to her
just
talk.
like the accent.
No, because the accent is cool or whatever, but it's her smile, and it's the way she processed those questions, and yeah, she might have let a little bit slip, but I like her swag. It seems like she came to Anthony specifically because, one, like, based on what she said, like, in context, you could hear like the whole her being seen and like being the odd one out in the room, and like the context of that, like, that's speaking from Blackness, like that spoke to my soul from a Black perspective. Like, okay, like, yeah, like I identify with that character, like in life, like, you know what I'm saying, like that's, you know what I mean. So but yeah, I like her. Like, I like her smile. I like her eyes. Like, yeah, I like her.
Oh, you crushing. Oh, look at you, homeboy. Hey, I love your smile. Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
I'll whip out the sax. Don't say, hey, I got the sax right there in the corner, bro. I got the solo. Hey, I know you could blow too. All right, so this is what exactly? I didn't get. If she did spoil something, I missed it. I mean, I think she did. Did confirm some things about her character.
She definitely spoiled something, and you got to read between the lines. What she said was, she said a person who believes or appears to believe in the stuff, and she also was saying like the character is going to make choices that are benefit her, are like best for her and everything like that. So if you watch the first episode, you would take the first part of her statement and be like, yes, I totally agree. She seems like she wants to be the best at whatever, and she's gonna thrive in this thing. But then you also take the things that Mother Superior said as she feels like someone who would do our bidding. You know what I'm saying? Like, she feels like someone we can control. Because remember, they want to put someone in place in where Asha was. They want to put somebody in place that will do what they want them to do. They don't want somebody that's going to go over there and then have second thoughts and start making decisions on their own. No, they want someone who will do what they what Mother Superior tells them to do. And so that, to hear that, but then to hear her say, well, someone who appears to do it, but maybe it makes you be like, oh, so you gonna be that one that be, because she said I still have the ability to read the room. So it's like, she's like, oh, so they might try to control me, but if I start seeing some shit is sketchy, then I make my own decisions. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, Anakin.
That's why I call her.
Okay.
That's why I call her Qui-Gon,
because she make her own rules.
moved the same way. Like, yo, I'll be with the Jedi, but if y'all tell me I can't take this Padawan, I'm gonna just go raise him in the desert. Whatever. I don't need y'all.
And then I'm gonna tell my Padawan to train him after I die. If I die, like the death of it don't even matter. Like the shit I won't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if that's what this is, I can't wait to see that. I'm more interested, honestly, in seeing the growth of the superpowers, seeing more. I love that they led the show with the powers, you know, with the voice shit, because that's like my favorite shit. I mean, that's gruesome as hell how it happened. Yes, I fucking love it. But if what y'all are saying is that Ragnar potentially has some sort of powers, then that's crazy, because I don't know
his name is
what
Desmond.
That is.
You gotta call him by his
Desmond.
name.
I gotta. Hey, look, his mama called him Ragnar. I'm gonna call him Ragnar. Like this. All
his name is Travis, and his character's name is Desmond.
I know, obviously, man, just playing around. But I ain't gonna lie, like he played the fuck out of that role in Vikings, man. And I can't see him as nothing else. Like even when he was in Raised by Wolves, he was Ragnar to me. You know what I'm saying?
But this is him though. Like Vince, what we saw in Raised by the Wolves was the same concept. If you don't remember Raised by the Wolves, he said the same thing. He fucking dies and then comes back, and now he sees he's got God's thoughts. And I got powers. And I got powers, and I'm doing
it's
shit.
Literally the same. He's the same guy. He's the same guy. He's the same guy. He's the same guy. So they just decided. I see what you did, HBO Max. Yeah. I mean Max. Yeah. Excuse me. Your mama call you HBO Max. I'm gonna call you Max. Y'all just said, look, we're not gonna give Raised by Wolves a season 3. We're just gonna go ahead and take the characters from Raised by Wolves and put them in another series. So you put the dude from Raised by Wolves, switched his name, gave him the same exact role, same plot line, and threw him into Dune. And so far, so good. I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad, because I mean I like that character. So all we need now is mother, father, and grandpa and grandmother. And once we have, well, I guess you gave them to us and raised. I mean, you gave us grandmother. I guess. They're putting. Now he gave us father in Dragon, House of Dragon.
And they gave us mother, and they gave us mother and father.
Oh, mother was there too, right?
Yeah, so mother was there.
All right. Well, at least you keeping them employed, Max. All right. So points to y'all.
Everybody stayed. Everybody had a job when they left that show. Still, like, so that's I
guess it's in the contract. So my theory is, I still don't think that this dude has superpowers. I still think that there's something that's being used to do this, and that he is not acting on his own, and that the operation happened in a manner, because he didn't just happen upon the son, the husband. He went in there distinctly at a time, very, 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 very intentional. And I believe that it was a joint. And she wasn't alone when she started burning, was she? She wasn't in the room all by herself. There were other people in that room. So that means that somebody else can be involved, and we just don't know who they are yet. They could be undercover. They could be a mole, whatever it is. However, for a second, let's just say that they do have superpowers, and that this is some sort of new superpower that's being introduced into the Dune world that I'm not familiar with. What's the power?
The power of the mind.
Is he like Pyro? Is he what?
It's got to be more than that, because he rose from the dead, right? Let's not forget that.
Did you think he rose himself from the dead?
I don't know that he rose from the dead.
Well, no. He talked about gods, right? Yeah. That's one thing that they don't believe in this world. He's like, yo, do you believe in gods? I prayed, and then after I did that, I rose. And then when he rose, he got approached by that giant worm and somehow came back from Arrakis alive. So the show is implying that either the worm is a god or is controlled by a deity, and he's got powers based off of him being subservient to this being.
Well, Anthony, they do subscribe to religion, because he did the king.
Well, the emperor didn't.
No, the emperor doesn't. But he did say that that's my wife's lane. My wife's lane. She prescribes to religion, so religion does exist.
Yeah.
But but the emperor doesn't necessarily subscribe to it. The only reason I don't necessarily think that this is because there are little tells, right? Remember one of the things that they had a war against, and they have and clearly have a very strong emotion towards, is thinking machines. Okay, now remember also, if we're talking about Raised by Wolves, if you remember this correctly,
wow, holy shit, it's literally the same thing.
It's literally the same concept, and the reason I pointed to thinking machines, because I really do feel like the machines have evolved at obviously, and to a point of being able to maybe produce some form of or life form that exists that looks human but maybe is not necessarily human but possesses different things. The reason I stated that was, if you go back and watch that scene where he's talking to the little boy right before he kills him, his eye flickers. Almost like a glitch. No, hold on. I'm just saying it could be that's just how he had that could be his own thing. But what I'm saying is that what we saw was the sandworm come up, smash to the ground, and a whole thing of sand everywhere. So we are to assume that he died in that moment. That is the assumption, and that is what was intended by the shot. But for all we know, that he could have either been submerged in something else. He could have went inside of one of these machines that looks like a worm or something like that. Since we have seen that the technology is far beyond our realm of thinking where they're at. They got shit that they can put in a fucking little box and you can see what the fuck happened on another fucking planet. Like, this is the next level kind of technology that they got. So the idea that there couldn't possibly be a thinking robot that looks like a human that comes back and is somehow, doing shit to undermine what they're trying to do as humankind or whatever. I just think that what we do know for a fact is that the witches have what they call the weirding way, which is the ability to control one's movement, one's mind in essence. So with the voice, when they cast that voice, whoever they cast that voice to, you have to do whatever it is that they say do. So that is a form of mind control. So that's why it's not so much supernatural as it is.
That's my point, right? Well, yeah, that's why. I mean, okay, so in Dune, there's that, right? The witching, but there's also old boy that floats, right? And I'm not sure exactly what the magic.
That's by machine. That's by that he floats by machine. So that whole so they have suits. Which worm dude?
The Harkonnen dude, because like when he was in the room, he was using telekinesis because he killed everybody in the room with his mind. Remember, like when he was mad, he was like when he was almost killed, he started floating in the air and killed everybody in the room with just like his powers. So he was doing some telekinesis thing. In Dune, was it 1 or 2?
Hold on,
it might have been 1.
No. When you say he killed everybody in the room, that was because the Paul Atreides' father had did something, like he had cut him or did something. I don't remember. I have to go back and watch the movie, but he did something that caused an explosion or something that killed everybody in the room, including him. Because like if when it comes to floating floating is not hard to do. Remember, they first of all have this button that they can press or something that gives them a force field. Like they'll have a force field over their body. So in essence, how far is the realm of possibility that they have something that can also and they can float?
But he's the only one that does it, and he floated right out. He floats like right out the tub. It's the one supernatural bit that I haven't. I mean, I haven't got any explanation for it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I heard you talking about it, but
I don't think that's a thing. I think it's more like because he also was connected to tubes all over his body that was feeding spice into his body. I think that's what it was, spice or whatever. He would take spice baths or some shit.
He's the only one that does it though. Like it make sense. Like he's the only one that has this ability to float. If it's something that everybody has, then why is he the only one that does it? And I just feel like there's something supernatural there. I mean, maybe it's something to do with something that's there in his back. I don't know. Yeah, but I don't think that this is just it's just tech.
I mean, it wasn't the original too. It wasn't like
exactly
in the no,
right? Yeah.
Well, when you say exactly in the original, he was hooked up to these things that made him float. So that's what I'm saying. It wasn't like he just did it off. He just had the ability to just float around. It was more like he had.
I feel like he did it on his own too.
He floats. He doesn't just float like when he's close to a machine or when he doesn't always have wire. He's not like a remote control car with the wire on it. Like he's
I'd have to
radio control.
I will certainly have to go back and watch
because I remember him flying in the older one. I remember him flying by Atreides. I remember him getting flown into one of those sand worms, if I recall, on the Dune, when I was a kid. So. Nah, but the only reason I said that is because this was to support the possibility that superpowers is a more plausible thing for old boy to have used to kill these two individuals. If indeed this dude is using superpowers, those witches have their form of superpowers. So for me, it kind of made more sense. Why? What's up?
I pulled the scene up. Yeah.
All right. So let's see.
You found the scene?
Yeah, because I
don't know if I could share it. I'll try though, but let me see. Share this tab.
Oh.
Yeah, he's
all right. Hold up.
The desert takes the weak. My desert.
Yeah. And that shit lit up in the behind him.
On his spine?
Yeah, on the spine. That shit was that red like it had red lights that just lit up when he flew up. Like everything about him is like even in the first one, like he was like
desert takes the
part machine, like he had machine parts.
See it.
Yeah. So it was it was always like that. It was never, I think, inferred that the Harkonnens had like this, mysterious supernatural power. They just were warmongers. They just wanted to conquer and take over everything. That's always what it's been in the Dune storyline, as far as the first movie and the second and this third one. So
go ahead. So in this, what was just in Dune Prophecy, who is it that is representing the Harkonnen side that's going to eventually tie into that bloodline we saw from Dune the movie? Because they mentioned the word Harkonnens multiple times.
Well, yeah, Valya's a Harkonnen. Number one, let's start there. The Mother Superior is a Harkonnen. However, she doesn't acknowledge her Harkonnen side clearly because she's not even trying to help them but they've asked 4 times for a truthsayer, and she's denied them 4 times. And not just a denial, but like a firm for the 4th time, no. You know what I'm saying? Like a firm no. So there is some type of discord with her, maybe her family or her and her family or whatever the case may be. But that version of who you just mentioned, we probably haven't seen him yet. We haven't seen or her. we haven't seen the representative of the Harkonnen family side of things, because they've just sent requests and haven't shown face. What we have seen, well, that's, you know what? I take that back. We have seen a face of the Harkonnen at the reception. He was talking to the king, and he was a Harkonnen. Baron. He was a Baron, Baron Harkonnen or something like that. If I remember correctly, and he was talking about something, and the king was like, "Yeah, excuse me," and just walked off from the dude. But he was a Harkonnen. He was the little weird little looking dude. You know, it was at the reception.
The little the dude with the hair.
Yeah,
he almost
the
looked
hair.
like
He looked like a nerd. Like he looked like he was like
him
him. Yes, him. He's a Harkonnen. He's a Baron, or his name is Baron Harkonnen. And by the way,
did you take notes?
No, I just pay attention. But also the guy who you said was floating, you know what his name was, right?
No.
Baron Harkonnen. So I don't know. I mean, obviously they're not the same person. They're not the same.
Baron
person.
is a title. Baron is the title, right?
The title.
Yeah.
So he's a Baron Harkonnen. So that is your first representation of the Harkonnen family. A representative from the Harkonnen family. So right now you have met the Harkonnen family. You have met the Orini family, or whatever that their last name was, which is the dad who said, "Oh, you know, can we overlook this? We don't want to mess up the deal, over something so small," whose son just got burnt alive in your care, which is not going to sit well with them at all, which is probably going to start a war, which is probably, so all of this stuff is now unfolding. Now, is old girl, is she an Atreides? Or is the new sword teacher, is he an Atreides? He's an Atreides. Yeah. So I don't even know what the house name is of this house with Carmine Falcone. I don't even know the house name.
Well, his last name is Emperor Javico, something like that.
So there it is. So he is the of the line of the Emperor of Dune.
Carino. He's a Carino.
Okay, so he's a Carino. So in the Dune 2 movie, the Emperor and the Emperor's daughter, who is old girl from Marvel. What's her name?
Florence Pugh.
Florence Pugh. Yeah, so Florence Pugh. So that's that. This is that. This is the Emperor's line.
Okay.
Or at least whoever the Emperor line is at this time, because it could change depending on how.
So so she's a Carino. She slept with an Atreides, that her sword teacher. Oh shit! And that's how Paul gets made.
That's how House Atreides becomes House Atreides, because she has a child. I bet you. I already said.
But Paul is from like 10,000 years into the future, ain't he?
No. What he's talking about is the house name Atreides. He's not saying Paul. What he's saying is that the Atreides probably wasn't at first a house name until he slept with the Emperor Carino's daughter, and had a child, which then, because his father was an Atreides, now enters House Atreides into the chat.
Right now they have
she makes the house. Okay.
Now they have a claim.
Now they have a claim to the throne, because she's going to have a baby with him, and then the Atreides are going to be the royal lineage. Because even Paul Atreides' dad was saying, like, his dad was sitting on the throne, so they go back for a while.
And you got to realize, like, it's all now making sense, right? So the plan was originally devised by the Harkonnen, Valya Harkonnen, to mesh the Carino Emperor's line to the Arenes, and I'm probably saying that name wrong, but I just feel like I'm close to whatever it is. But it's so crazy because that night she made the decision to go sleep with an Atreides, and her husband, her soon to be husband, is killed. Is killed that night. And all of this is kind of playing out. So now it makes you wonder who is the antagonist and who is the protagonist. You know what I'm saying? Because is this guy really the antagonist, or is Valya Harkonnen really the protagonist?
How would she be? I mean, they haven't really shown how she could be right now, with the exception of the fact that she's trying to control stuff. Because didn't he say something like, before he lit old boy on fire, he was like, oh, well, you know, some, you know, people trying to control people, you know, but we got to stop it from happening. Sorry. Exactly. And if I can't say real quick, that scene was sick and I was locked in. It was hard to watch, which is great. That's what you want in a show. You like it's very, you know what I'm saying, Ned's hand getting chopped off. You know, it's a gruesome reality that I'm glad that they stuck with. I'm glad they didn't go with somebody older. Just good job, Dune Prophecy. I could tell this was going to be one that's talked about heavily. Like you could see it.
Everybody's gonna have their theories. It's gonna spark all kind of conversations and
shout out to whoever thought about dropping it right now, did their research. Like it's coming out in a week. We just came off of 2 season finales from 2 popular shows from different streaming services, and here comes this with nothing to compete with it. Like right on time. Well done. I mean, obviously Max had Penguin too, so they, you know, can coordinate with that. But in terms of From, which is almost over, Agatha, which just finished, you know, you got to give them some props, man. They're going to own these next 8 weeks or however many episodes.
6 weeks. They got 6 episodes.
Oh, they doing it like that too. Yeah. Hey, yo, listen. That would be my only complaint, right? Because Dune did the same thing. Dune gave us Dune and then took 2.5 years to drop Dune 2. And
that's kind of normal now, ain't it?
Well, they had a pandemic. That's what really messed them up.
That's what the normalization of this whole thing is coming into play, is because they're using pandemic as though that is the new way to establish a timeline. And that's not, no, that was a momentary lapse. And this, like, what it's causing us to do is it's such a long period of time between things that you forget. You literally forget everything that you like. Like there's no way you could tell me what happened to Dune 1. I can't tell you. I can't tell. I can tell you because I know the storyline. I mean, because I know the storyline, but what I'm saying is specific scenes. Name some specific scenes.
Yeah, and I just messed up.
Okay. I mean, the old boy. I don't know names very well, but the dude that the main character with the dark hair,
Paul Atreides.
Paul Atreides. He met up with the Zendaya, and they went all through the woods because they went down from the planet to this other planet with the sand on it, and then everybody got killed.
Last third of the movie.
Yeah.
In the very beginning, everybody got killed. You know what I'm saying? And then they went into the sand, and they was traveling and shit, and then next thing you know, he had to fight. He had to fight. They had to hide that he couldn't use his voice. And so the mom was getting all pissed off, like,
you're making my point.
You gotta learn how to use the voice.
The point
I can't use the voice. And the point that I'm making, bro. He had to fight old boy.
Listen,
the African dude.
If I was a person who never saw that movie, and you was the person that I needed to get a review, you just gave me the most vague, the most vague review in the history of it. Like, yo, all I'm saying, listen, this is no shot at you. This is more about them and like the fact that, again, that's a long period of time for you to think people are going to retain information and knowledge about a property. Like that's tough.
But that's not the objective. Is not for you to retain it. It's for you to be really, 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 really desperately wanting to see it again. You know what I'm saying? And if that means you have to go back and YouTube your way or review your way or recap your way to remember, and the industry is not concerned about your memory. They're concerned about, do you really, really want to see this? Have you waited in line long enough? It's the same thing that the club used to do when they would hold the line until it was around the block, even though there's nobody inside, just to make it so it looks like there's a lot of interest in it. So yeah, man, it's capitalism, man. This is what it is. So, but yeah, I think the answers I got, I think I got the questions. I'm glad we're able to pause it and because I honestly was like, man, like the very first few scenes, I was like, what just happened? Like a lot of stuff just happened real quick, So anytime
can we talk about cocaine? Can we talk about cocaine in space?
It's not it's spice.
No. Let me tell you something. You know what's spice? The shit that they had in the mask. That's spice. The shit that they sniffed up, that's coke. I'm not stupid. Listen. No, I'm dead ass serious.
That's the same spice
shit that was in the mask is the spice. That's the spice.
That's the same shit the Pikes was slinging in the book of Boba Fett, bro. It's spice.
It's cocaine. It's goddamn cocaine.
I mean, they definitely doing it like it's coke. Look, listen, at least they ain't doing drops.
Listen, he put that shit on his thumb and his fucking thing like that was cocaine. I like, nigga, you didn't have to hit the spice like that, nigga. You could have smoked the spice. You know what I'm saying, nigga? Nigga was like, hold up. Nigga was like, hold up. Since we going there, girl, now you want some of this? She was like, hell yeah, give me some of that cocaine.
Yeah, this is very, very wired.
And even more importantly, after they hit it, these motherfuckers got into they sexy attire. This nigga came out his clothes, came in with the vest on, with his chest out. As soon as he came, look, I peeped shit. As soon as he pulled up in the party, he seen two random motherfucking niggas who had a goddamn thing. They was like, here, hit this shit. He was like, hell yeah. And we ain't see his ass no more. She goes straight to the bar, gets a drink, sees this nigga, is like, yo, this cocaine got me open, nigga. Let's go to the back so I can get you, like, we can get it popping. That nigga was like, all right. And this girl was like, oh, so you just gonna go to the back with this bitch? He was like, she the queen and she the princess, man. What you want me to do?
I'm following orders.
Yeah. She was like, all right, nigga, I'm gonna find me somebody to chill with too. He was like, I don't care about right about now. I'm going back here. Well, girl. And then look, as soon as she got in there, she was like, all right, you with this shit, right? Well, nah. He's like, I don't know. She's like, hit this. She blew that shit. He's like, oh, she was like, yeah, now give me that dick. He was like, hold up, wait a minute. You just gonna go straight to it? She was like, look, she was like, yo, he was like, I'm about to be gone. Look, she said, I'm about to leave in 2 days. I'm gonna be gone from this world. That nigga was like, yep, that is true. All right, cool. And nigga, I was like, fuck that dick.
Yo, I love it. I love the woman being the aggressor. You know what I'm saying? Being like, yo, man, come on, just hit it.
Hold up,
yo, come on, everybody's doing it. You know what I'm saying?
We ain't gonna talk or nothing. We just gonna grab my dick. She was like,
yep. All right. Can we just cuddle? Let me give you a massage. Like she was doing everything like a dude would do. Yo, I love it. I love her being because she said at the beginning, she was like, yo, I get what I want. She sound like Cartman. Man, I'm doing what I want. I'm grown. And
hey. And I don't know if y'all picked up on this shit either, right? Yo, there was like, ever since she came on screen, like there was like this sexual energy. Like even when she was like
when they were practicing the sword fight,
like fighting with old boy, like it was very, very intense sexual energy. Like it wasn't just like a we sparring. Like it's like, yo, yeah, it was like that kind of energy. And then when the brother came in the room and she ran to him and jumped in it and wrapped her legs around, I was like, well, I got sisters. My sisters don't do that. I'm like, where do they do that shit at? You just run up and wrap your legs around your brother. Like, I was like, at first I was like, is this her husband, lover? Then he says, oh, sis, like, this my sister. I was like, And then the final thing for me was, remember when Asha was about to leave and then she grabbed her hand and like left it, like she held it for a minute, like, I say, yo, what's going on here? Like, yo, what's happening right now? Like, yo, this is looking like, yo, you and Asha been a little close. Y'all been playing hide the cookies, something. Yeah. Y'all been doing some shit over here when daddy ain't looking. She been advising you on how to be a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Some shit going on.
Okay. Obviously, that's not sister in real life. Like sister, I don't know what they got.
No, ain't no sister. That's my point. Is she's giving me heavy Julie vibes. Like she just hot in the ass. That's what I'm saying. It's like that's what she giving me. Heavy Julie vibes. Like, yo, like who's fucking? I'm with whoever's she's fucking.
Julie.
Yeah. I can see her liking men and women, is what I'm saying. She don't care. She just like whoever.
Oh, y'all don't remember when she tried to kiss Fatima?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I've been told, it was so long ago. Evidently, we can't remember.
Yeah, she definitely tried to get her a kiss. She was like, listen, if this is the way to your man, then I'm willing to go the long way. I'm willing to go the long way to get both of y'all.
Oddly enough, in a completely separate topic, they do her what's her name? Fatima. Mm-hmm. And what's her name? What's the other girl name? Did you just talk about?
Julie?
Julie. They seem to have developed a real life friendship in real life. And I think that's kind of cool, actually. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I wonder what it is that they got going on.
Oh, they all hang out. There's a lot of photos with the cast hanging out outside of filming.
Yeah, these two particularly.
I think they live together.
Oh shit!
I think they said that they moved in with each other while they were filming, and they film in Nova Scotia, so they probably don't get hotels for the entire filming time. They probably just get themselves an apartment.
Yeah. They get okay.
Well, that's interesting. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's something else.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Who do I interview this week? This week I interview Ellis, and then I'm gonna interview Tabitha again with Jim.
Ellis. Who is Ellis?
Boyd's son.
The son, right?
Yeah.
Oh, word! You interviewing Ellis?
Yeah, I interview him tomorrow.
Ellis. Okay.
Oh man. Okay. And you said who else?
And then I'm at Tabitha and Jim.
Tabitha.
Okay, Fatima. All right, now. Go ahead now. Looking kind of good, girl.
She got the
little.
What language is that? What's the nationality?
Iranian.
Oh, Iranian. Okay. Yeah. See, here they go. Oh, but that's on set. It looks like
that's on set.
Yeah, that's from the episode.
So that's the one you're going. So you're interviewing him tomorrow. Oh, that's dope, man. Okay, yeah. You got your questions ready?
Nope.
Man, you better hurry up, man.
I know.
Ask them something about the cast. Ask them, be like, yo, who of the cast would be the most likely to tell the funniest joke or something stupid? Yeah, I don't know who.
I don't know.
So him and Kenny are really close friends. So I'm gonna probably ask them about stuff that fans have been talking about. They've been asking about these numbers 4 and 7 or stuff like that.
Yeah, has anybody commented on that? Because I feel like Pega was completely lost.
I don't know if she was lost or if she was playing. I don't know.
Really, she looked like she was lost to me. She looked like she was completely stumped.
She is a professional actress.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, maybe you're right. Maybe that is true. What if she does know and she's like, okay, I can't say that. All right, well, good luck with that. Well, tell us all about that. I ain't gonna lie. I'm getting a little tired. I'm probably gonna have to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wrap this one
but that's a good show. I like I said, this is gonna be a good conversation, a conversational piece to talk about on the show. For real, because I think a lot of people are gonna really enjoy this show. The acting looks very well. Hey, man, can we? Listen, is there ever gonna be a time where there's a sci-fi movie that doesn't have all British actors? I mean, like, I'm just saying. I mean, I brought this up on Star Wars. I bring this up on nigga, this shit is getting out of hand. Like, it's like everybody's losing people over their mouth. You're like, oh, so everybody from space is from England.
Lovecraft.
Star Wars with the exception.
Sci-fi.
He said sci-fi. Star Wars was the exception because in actuality, mostly it was just the Empire that was British. Remember, Luke, Han Solo, Leia, even Anakin were American and had American accents. It was just Obi-Wan. I don't know if you can really count Qui-Gon. That's Irish, but I get your point. But Yoda, Samuel L. Jackson. So I don't necessarily count Star Wars. However, for things like Raised by Wolves and and House of the Dragon again, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I prefer the British accent in these types of roles. Like, I don't want to hear. I don't want somebody. Hey, we represent the goddamn House of Harkonnen and shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't need that. I don't want some freaking Southern Kentucky.
Go
ahead.
The dude who plays Randall is British. From? Randall, the one who got his face cut up.
Yeah.
He's super British.
Yeah,
super British.
So it did. So it did this scene. Yeah,
I can't do
and
that.
I was like, yeah. Well, I mean, look, we just sat and watched Colin Farrell, not just do an American accent, but a Brooklyn, New York, East Side, freaking, So I mean, these motherfuckers be watching American shit since they children. They learn the accent.
I mean,
we don't watch British. We don't watch.
I mean, we know this. We know this, Benny.
I prefer the British accent, and give me the British accent out in space all day. I am not mad at that because I don't think at the rate that we're going in America, we're going to be the ones to make it to space. And we're going to go. I think the British, I don't know. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But British accent sounds more demure, more. What they be saying?
Really?
I don't know. I don't know the little saying. I tried to be.
You trying to catch the wave?
Okay. I don't even know the goddamn saying, man.
Yeah.
Shit. Demure, whatever.
That's hilarious, bro.
But yeah, man, we'll chop this up.
Are we meeting Saturday?
That's the plan. I plan on. I'm gonna be out of town, but I'm planning. But let me go ahead and done this off first. But yeah, anybody just watch this? I'm sorry.
I love the new Blurred Order. You should too.
Let me get all this 10P Wayne. All the niggas rapping about the same old thing. I've been coming through with the same old gang. Ain't shit changed except 9 got a name. Got it out the mud, but we got no stains. Cold ass lizard with a gold ass chain. The girl call me daddy, not my government name. Money on my mind, got them bands on my brain. Let me tell y'all about a nigga I